Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well today, staying safe. Since we're going to be inside more now and staying home a little bit more in order to keep our neighbors safe as well as ourselves, I was looking for some devotional books to use each day, but I wanted something that was really short each day, not something that, was pages long. And I found a couple that I have really enjoyed so far, and I'd like to share those with you for Book Monday today. The first one is a collection of Henry Nouwen's writings, and they've entitled this book, You Are the Beloved, Daily Meditations for Spiritual Living, and each meditation comes from a different piece of his writings. And I was especially struck by the devotion for yesterday, coupled with today, so I'd like to share that with you. God is at work in the world was for November 15th. We have to learn how to think about the events of the day that take place in our community or in our larger world, and to see them as ways to come to know God in new ways. There is the spiritual life and the political world and the economic world, but somehow we must really believe that God is a God of history who works in the events of the day. It is important that you learn to read the newspaper with a heart that sees God at work among his people, and to be aware of the great struggle in which you are involved, struggles with the power of evil and the hidden love of God. God is present, but you have to be in touch with that very reality. You might know about Ireland and Iran and Iraq, and know about communities in different places that suffer, but do not see them as a set of distracting things, but see God is at work in this world. The world and the reality of daily events are there to be read with the mind and heart of God. Prayer itself should gradually become more and more reality-oriented. To pray is not to sit there and fantasize and daydream. To pray is to look at Jesus, who is real, and to believe more and more. The greatest of all reality is the presence of God in the world. God is the core reality from which all things derive their reality. What is not real does not belong to God. I was especially struck by that with everything going on right now. And of course, Henry Nouwen didn't know what was going to be happening in the future, but this really speaks to us about looking for God in the events and the things that happen around us. And then for today, just a short little paragraph, a gentle and humble heart. God's question is, are you reading the signs of your time as signs asking you to repent and be converted? What really counts is our willingness to let the immense sufferings of our brothers and sisters free us from all arrogance and from all judgments and condemnations, and give us a heart as gentle and humble as the heart of Jesus. So that's one I would highly recommend, Henry Nouwen devotional. The other one I picked up is called Peace of Heart in All Things, Meditations for Each Day of the Year, from Brother Roger of Taizé. Taizé is a community in France that does meditation and all kinds of different events, worship. If you're familiar with Taizé prayer, that's where that comes from, that community in France. And Brother Roger has written a lot. But these are short little sentences, paragraphs for each day. And for today, he writes, there is no technique for praying. There is no method to achieve inner silence. If our prayer is only stammering, that hardly matters. Are we not, all of us, poor people of the gospel? Indeed, are we not poor people of the gospel? people that come to God with all the things that are going on in our lives, all the things that are going on in the world, and just come before him with that. I wish you well tonight. A couple devotion suggestions for you to use during this time when things are so uncertain and so up in the air, and when we're isolated from one another. So God bless and take care.